Good afternoon. Today I will share with you an overview through examples of design for all and how it is the social cutting edge of innovation through an ethical approach to winning the markets and creating a happy innovation for all. I am currently Associate Professor at the Design and Innovation College of Tongji University, Shanghai, China, and I direct the research lab for sustainable business and cultural bridge. In previous years, I have worked with several companies and governments and institutions of different sizes and in different countries. And I always tried to bring the design for all approach at every level of the B2B, B2G, or B2C implementation. At the beginning of the 90s, when in Europe we were talking about design for all, Paul Hogan said, "A good design enables, bad design disables." If you think it through very calmly, it basically says it all. But it is not that easy to actually achieve it. It is very relevant in an area where ethics, inclusion, and diversity are so relevant. It is very important not to forget beauty in its sense of aesthetical excellence, research, and with a craft and cultural basis. Maybe one of the things that I will go through more today is this last concept of the slide: diversity as a richness. Human diversity is our richness. So design is a social act. You want it, you don't want it, you're aware, you're not aware. Whatever you do, you will have an impact on society. So we can ask design for excellence. Let's see the challenges that we could win with satisfaction. For experiencers, we can propose a must-have that is comfortable for all. The decision makers, we bring value. For society, we are talking about a sustainable development, both on the social and the environmental level, how to stay relevant in competitive markets, and how to go along with or spearhead the technology development. It doesn't matter if you're working in high tech or low tech, and how to address different areas, the B2B, the B2C, and the B2G. For a very quick summary, some simple concept on design for all. It has been defined in the Stockholm Declaration. Design for all as the design for human diversity, social inclusion, and equality. Now, it is an approach where social innovation stems from a design-driven approach, and it helps a sustainable development, and it helps the development of ethical businesses. It is also a way to understand through design the richness of human diversity, and by sheer definition, because it's so much intertwined with society, it needs to find a meeting point between tradition, modernity, innovation, culture, and excellence, because otherwise it won't be successful. At the end, I would like to state that social innovation is not only excellence, but is also revenues. And that is what allows a social innovation to be, when implemented, so much impactful. So to make it visual or very simple and clear, we have, let's imagine a platform where that we designed with the Design for All approach. And on this platform, everybody who wishes to enjoy what we are designing feels enabled and feels that can participate with satisfaction. This is the basic of Design for All, a platform where everybody who actually wants to be there can participate with satisfaction. Design for All works very well within the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals of the UN, to build, create, co-create, co-design alternative scenarios. Specifically, for example, for urban interactions, it is very interesting to work on with these two levels meeting. And in the images that I am sharing with you, you see one of my experiences in Yamaguchi in Japan, where the city and some stakeholders of the city and some science students co-designed different inclusive urban interactions, very much focusing on intercultural issues. In these other images that I'm sharing with you, there are some infographics, some drawings, and some designs that summarize how social sustainability can improve the design and the implementation of an environmental program in Chinese rural area. So combining, again, the SDGs and a human diversity design-driven approach. The first question I would like to share with you is, which is the core? In my experience, this helps a lot. The core business of your client, what is the core business? Is Design for All the core business of your client, or is Design for All, can Design for All represent the design approach to the business or to the product service? Both are absolutely interesting, but they are not the same. So, for example, in this image is portrayed a group of dolls, some normal dolls, typical dolls that maybe everybody is a little bit acquainted with, like Barbie or Bratz or Disney princesses. And in the center, there is a new, it's 2 years old now, Lamily, a new doll. And the first striking difference is that the Lamily, the doll in the center, has real human proportions. In 2017, it was the only one in the market designed to be a real person, or like a real person. It's a doll with normal features and normal body proportions. Of course, it was completely customizable online. So everyone who wished to participate and enjoy this specific Design for All platform, that is, in this case, a doll, could go online and design its own doll with the features, the characteristics, the appearance, the clothes, the culture, the ethnicity that they liked most, or they wanted to recognize in. In this case, Lamely, the core of this enterprise is a social innovation. There was a strong will, a strong push to come up with a toy that was changing a pattern and a history of image perception, self-image perception that was, let's say, twisted by dolls that were not representative. In the next image, I'm proposing the new set of Barbies of 2020. They are from the line Fashionistas, and there are different body types, different culture, different ethnicities, different special needs portrayed. Now, this is not the core business of the company. So I really wanted to use these two examples that maybe could seem similar, but they are very different. And it makes a difference when you design in one case or the other. This is an advertising of a global bank that is called HSBC that uses the diversity of human diversity like a competitive advantage. Their claim is never underestimate the importance of local investment knowledge, and they are portraying the same word precious with the two different images, one from the US and one from India, communicating the fact that culture is business and business is culture. So if you are in a different culture or in a different environment, it is human diversity, and they are expert in this, and so they can really help you with letting your business thrive. This is an example of a non-core business, but a very important line in the business that is dealt through the power of human diversity. We are looking at a line of swimsuit. The company is called Swimsuit for All and is designed to make different people with different body shapes and different ages happy, comfortable. They say, I think, bold and confident in enjoying their summers. That would be the core business as a design for all. In this case, this is a service, is the covered by Vogue. You can get online and see within the catwalks of that season which elements would fit you best according to your body type and body shape. So we are going in all these examples, the trend is going away from one standardized model that usually does not exist or is very difficult to meet or to achieve, and using design to answer happily to human diversity, diverse abilities, necessities, and aspirations. We are seeing Ion, the famous and multi-awarded watch that was born to be a design for all item. I am sure that many of you already have seen it. It's extremely beautiful, extremely fashionable. It comes in all colors and textures and materials, and it's really telling you the time, both visually and through the touch. And the part of the design that expresses or allows to read it through touch. is exactly the same that allows it to read it through vision. Which means that in this case, the multisensorial design has one message that is treated in the same way on both channels, and this creates a beautiful sense of unity. So what is that? Think about, ask the second question. Ask yourself when you're designing, what is that you're designing? Here I just propose an example. Are you designing access to something, to a building, to a service, to a system, to a product, to some information? Are you designing access or are you designing freedom? Both are okay, both are fine, but it changes the way that you approach how to answer to design to human diversity. If you want to design access or if you want to design freedom. To me, the Opera House in Oslo that is really thoroughly designed with human diversity in mind, and was the talk of the town for quite a long time, has freedom in mind. This also means that here and there, if you're not cautious, maybe you can experience a little accident, but this is the concept of freedom. And that is why I was asking that question. Don't let the complexity of human diversity as such to make you lose the focus on what you want to achieve. What is that? With what is that you're designing? So let's say you want to design freedom, and what is your client doing, or your institution? So with what are you doing that? Is it with a campaign? Is it with a service, with a product? Are you designing a new market for the company you're working with? Are you designing consistency? Because maybe there is a lackness of it, or are you designing a new brand legacy? So in this example, it is portrayed the one of the late Dove campaign, where human diversity in age, ethnicity, body shape, culture, different type of approaches to beauty and self-care has been chosen as the topic of the campaign. So the topic of the campaign was you're a real person, and just feel comfortable in your skin and take care of your skin. There is no model that you need to comply. There is nobody that you need to look alike. Be yourself. Now we go to a building. This is a restaurant. Is a restaurant on the street. The company is called Avril, is a global company with many different brands, and their specialty is restoration, food, and services on the road, stations, highways, airports, so on and so forth. And for this, they decided to create a building that could be the epitome of sustainable development. So they were very strong on a circular economy and environmental sustainability, as well as a design for all. And what we have done with them on the design for all, the social sustainability part, was not only the accesses and the beautiful bathroom that are comfortable for all, but really understanding which are the abilities, the necessities, and the aspiration of the people who tired get into a restaurant during a trip, and how to shape the service in a way that was making everybody comfortable. So it is not about only spaces and architecture and objects and environments, but it's also about how you train your personnel, how you structure the sequence of the actions that the person needs to do when gets inside a shop and wants to first choose and then purchase something. Lactalis, again, quite a big group, decided to take the approach of design for all on a couple of packaging. We are running out of time, and I really wanted to go to one slide on human diversity. This last product is a medical device. It's for a Chinese company, and this Chinese company was not really aware of design for all as a concept, but they had a target of silver market. The target was the silver market, and they asked us, we want to expand the market. We would like to meet the aspirations of new markets such as young white collars, but we are afraid that if we do something too abrupt, we could lose the silver market. So please do something that appeals different people from different walk of life, and please make the machine simple and friendly and comfortable to access, to use, to experience, and to control. They basically asked for market reasons to have a design for all machine, and that was very inspiring for me. I would like to close, and I will be happy in another occasion to share with you other examples of products, services, and systems. I would like to share with you some approaches on human diversity. When you try to design for human diversity, are you focusing on the lived experiencer, or are you designing with the maximum enabling experience in mind? Usually, when you succeed in doing a design for all, you have both of those. But also, usually, you start with one of the two, according to your situation, what the clients ask, how the background of the designer is. And it is tricky to go from one to the other. So always ask yourself, who's your target? Who are the all that you can say they really wish to enjoy what you're designing? And think about that first, and try to design with that kind of very broad target in mind. And then try to go to the limit experiencer, because basically you are checking through the limit experiencer on your maximum enabling that you have already designed. This is a nice way to portray human diversity and how is much more powerful and alive than a standard that will never give you what the richness of human diversity can give you. The way for Design for All to understand human diversity is to look at the individuals and try to analyze which are the abilities, the necessities, and the aspirations, crossing them with the value chains. So to quickly summarize this concept, each one of us have or will have a different role according to the phase of his day or of his life in different value chains. So are we talking about a working environment, a study environment, a family environment, a friendly environment, family? According to where you are as an experiencer and what is your role. Are you the teacher? Are you the student? Are you the purchaser? Are you the clerk? Are you the person? Are you the delivery boy? Are you the technician of the molding inside the factory? Are you the manager? Are you the person who is disposing of something? According to, in that moment, who you are and what is your role, your abilities, your necessities and aspirations will change. So not only we are all different, but each one of us is different according to the situation or the value chain and the role that we have in the value chain. I had prepared some slides on multisensoriality and how to answer through multisensorial design and cognitive analysis to complex themes as language for all. But we really are out of time. So for the next time, I will close with this as a little tip. When you are designing for human diversity, and you have decided or you were told who is your target, how your target is composed, you have already defined your ecosystem where your design will live, and the ecosystem where your target will experience your design. Your design in a holistic way is an organism of elements and links. And each element and each link of your design is directly connected to the abilities, the necessities, and the aspirations of your target. Remember that not every characteristic of your target is relevant for your design. So I would suggest for you to create a little map where you can where you can cluster the characteristics of your target that you feel are in a strong relationship with the characteristics, the performances, the purposes, the elements and the links of the organism that is your design, and concentrate only on this relation. This will help you having a non-discrimination, a way for inclusion that is not discriminatory. So you will avoid arbitrary grouping, top or bottom, for and not with. You will avoid trying to be inclusive, ending up in being discriminatory. And on the other hand, the project will express its critical issues at their maximum enabling, because you're focusing on what only the relationships between your target and your design, and not everything that constitute your target, but only the elements that constitute your target that are directly linked with your design. I wanted to thank you for your attention and your time. And my email is my name, Avril, at avrildesign.com. Thank you. Goodbye.